Yo, I'm here to give you feedback on your own. If you have any questions, DM me or ping me in your thread. This is an 11:22. Um, Good luck. That bottom left one's good. Uh, and then here, this left one, this middle left looks good. I think. Yeah, that looks good. You can maybe debate that's a river, but I don't think so. Top left was good. Or top left is good, and top left is good here, and here, and here. Um, yeah, you've missed a couple beaches. Like, this is just a good beach. Um, you could maybe say that's a beach. It kind of looks like a river, but, and then these three. Oh, no, that's a river, but okay. So I guess those two. Here, I can show you. So, I'm on Linux, but it's the same for you. If you go to your, where's it, resource packs, and asset seed queue, sounds, no, not sounds, wall, and you're here. Turn off replace locked instances. Um, there's just really no world where this is good. Um, there's like, because by the time you will be able to read or notice the seed you locked, or like the seed behind the seed you locked. Like by the time you look at this, you could have reset and now you have 5 other seeds. You know? Like you would have 5 other seeds to look at instead of looking at or locking a seed and then looking at the seed behind it. And then if that's a seed, locking it again, and now you're just missing out on a bunch of resets. Um, Fine mapless could have been cut down in the like amount of turns. Grab that diamond, so you don't have to use your gold on. So you don't have to use your gold on a shovel, because especially like I know something like people give feedback to ranked a lot is like keeping gold for more trades, and that's still like prominent in RSG. Um, you want to have more wood, or just like 4 shears, but um, 21 wood. If you want, you have 9 wood to mess around with if you want 4 beds, and you have 6 to mess around with if you want um 5 beds, which is like the minimum for 0, realistically. Um, which obviously you're gonna get respawn acres out of the bastion most of the time, like you're gonna get glowstone and crying, but there are cases which you don't, and you really don't want to lose a run to um you don't want to lose a run to like getting a bad purge because you didn't have wood for 0, or losing a run because you didn't have a wood for 1 cycling. Um, like, let's look here. The wood is a little out of the way, but I assume there's. Wait, let me look at this. No, it's not even that bad at all. You can just grab like 2 or 3 extra logs. Um, Replace your boat on the water, so that saves time on you because you swim down and you won't have to swim back as far up. Um, Down here's chill. Um, yeah. Now you have 4 wood to mess around with, which you'll have a few cobblestone, but you just have no blocks. And I I'm fine high rolling for like beds out of a bastion or something. But and you don't get punished. But or not beds out of a bastion. I'm fine for high rolling like trees, but that's only if it's like a 5 wood tree, or if it's like uh, a 6 wood, 7 wood tree or something, where you just don't get many logs. Um, yeah, and this is single triple. Um, but you may play gap here. Oh no, it's not single triple. It's stupid. Um, so this is a right gap, and minus being able to see the gold block, the way you can tell is because there's like 3 little sections. Why is this like 2 pixels? But there's that, and then there's that, and then there's that. On bad gaps, it will just have the one at the bottom, I think, um, or something like that. But this is the backup gold. This is where the gold where you start your route is, and then this is like that little bottom section under it where you go to Pyrene. And you can start your route right here and dig a couple blocks through, and then just do your route the same as normal. And it will be faster than this, like going all the way up, because this is just time loss, like just pure time loss. And you don't really gain much out of, I mean, like, you get to check these chests, but you could be doing this while trades go, or when you leave. There's just not really much of a benefit to checking those chests right now, because you already have a gold shovel and gold in your inventory. Here, also, if you place a block right on this one, like, so if you right clicked right here, just place a block right there, you, and don't break that, you still break the normal one, the pigs won't ever get stuck down here and shit. And that's just really nice because like you're able to leave like the trading hole early, uh throw gold in early in the bastion route, so it's at least like somewhat overlapped. Like you'll have pigs trading earlier than uh what you're doing right now. So you may get like an extra trade, being able to leave early, all that stuff. I really like green pie because um like if say your pickaxe is 2 and like your mob spawner is also 2 or something, like uh or if you're digging, like you're doing dig down and you have to like change or I don't know, but like you can just freely hotkey, like minus me explaining stuff really bad. You can freely hotkey to any slot. Most people do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, XV, CZ or something. I don't know, but you're just really able to. It's really nice being able to hotkey to whatever. I have no issues. Um, you can, after pyring, you could, well, first check chests, or not check chests, check trades before you pyrate so you can get a pearl ingot. And second, you can dig through this wall. You turn. While you're waiting, you could pre-craft a bed, pre-craft a bow. You don't have arrows though, so never mind. Here. So if you place a block here, because sometimes that's filled in, sometimes it's not, and dig through this wall and dig like a bit diagonal, you can get to the chest, like the bottom center chest, and in this situation it could have had the extra obby you need. Set up your, you had a lot of time in the bastion to set up your inventory, and you didn't. It's really, really nice having like preset hotbars for each split. So going to the fort, you could have like all of this already in your inventory, so you don't have to lose like a second or two every time. Um, you don't have to lose a second or two every time changing stuff. Also, there's so much better overlap potential for crafting, like book crafting stuff, like your wool, your glowstone, your nether bricks. If you pre-craft a bed in the bastion, I do like pre-crafting nether bricks because then you can just, or on the way to the fort, you can just or pick block it, and it'll just be in your hotbar. But you shouldn't be crafting glowstone and or wool pre-fort, like pretty much ever, unless you have to like death reset. Um, but yeah, here it's really bad. Instead, you want to do it during blaze hits. You want to, yeah, you want to craft your shit during blaze hits, and turn your OD down here. I don't know what you're waiting for. Yeah, but turn your OD down to like 7 once you see the fort, 6 once you get closer, and 5 once you get on the fort. Yeah, so see, since your inventory is like a mess here, you have no time, or you have to spend time dropping stuff to clear out, stuff for rods, like a slot for rods. And you're gonna have to do that when you pre-craft, or crafts explosives. Can raise your OD up to try to spawner, unless you're really gonna hard force. Dynamic, which, oh yeah, do dynamic. You were just 5 RDing. Dynamic is just so much better. Okay, since you are just going for a 5 RD, I assume this is good. You should pretty much never be taking damage from blazes. Obviously, there's exceptions. You just get spawned on and you have to have the spawner cleared out or something. That's just unlucky. But there are definitely, you should definitely like never be taking damage from blazes. like here, you were just way too close. Um, Not taking damage from blazes is really good for your end game since this COD could have lasted you a bit longer. Um, Awareness on where your blazes are, like you see this guy just balloons up. That's way more than like what 3.6 blocks away. You're not able to reach that. So you can either walk forward a bit so you're closer, or you can wait for the guy to come down. Like you did right there. Um, you should have just done that before hitting, and that just saves you an axe cycle um and it saves you just like a few seconds. Um like something I can notice in your gameplay, like obviously I've watched your runs before, but I'm just gonna um feedback this like I haven't. So what I can see is that you don't seem to plan ahead very much. Like in the Bastion, you didn't like I was saying earlier, like on the way to the fort, just like um not setting yourself up as good for the end game. Um like your inventory's clogged, um your uh it seems like you're trying to go like it seems like you're trying to go like balls out in the fort when really you don't need to. As long as you're just doing dynamic, not playing the fort too safe, you're fine. Like here, um, and I can tell you're like just very much focused on other things. Like trying to block off this guy, I can tell that you're like it looks like you're thinking about this blaze before here. Like like it told like to me it looks like you're thinking about this blaze um to your right that you missed the first hit on. Which is another thing. Even if you need to take like a second or half a second or something to adjust your aim or walk forward a couple blocks, like I was talking about earlier, you should be doing that compared to, uh, or you should be doing that instead of spending an extra axe cycle. Because, like, especially in this situation, say if there was a wither, like right here, and you miss the hit on this guy, um, and the wither's behind you, and it could just hit you and you're dead, pretty much. Or, yeah, you probably die. Um, you should never really be taking damage pre-bastion. That's something I've just forgot to mention. But, once again, that's another thing setting up for the end game. If you watch hacks or just any like top ranked runner, they never take damage pre-bastion, and that's why they have like insanely low death rates in the stronghold. It's because they're never having to, um, or yeah, insanely low death rates in the stronghold, or just never death resetting because they always have food. They're never taking damage at the Bastion. They're never taking damage pre-Bastion. The only damage they're taking on the way to the fort are pearls. Um, and they're never taking damage from blazes. So you just always have, um, you just always have food. But yeah, you just like if you see this wither guy after you already go to hit, this wither guy could come hit you, or you're gonna have to like spam attack it or something. And um, instead of that, you could have just waited a second, or waited like I think it's like probably less than half a second in this situation, um, just to get a hit off on this guy. Um, and that like obviously I'm just kind of like making up a scenario here because like I'm just trying to tell you how this works. Just overall, don't go for hits that you 100% don't think you can hit. Um, here, I wonder. This was probably avoidable, which, yeah, just once again, by, look here, if you take a second and crit that guy, and then do a normal hit, you should already know this guy's here. That's also just an awareness thing. Like, you see this guy, you should have just done a crit or like a full axe hit or something and then another crit. Instead of just like doing a really low charged hit there. And then you would have killed it earlier and been able to react better to that guy. Just a big thing, like just being able to, like, what is it? Just being able to, even in like kind of stressful situations like that, just being able to hold yourself together and not, first portal, right here. Yeah, we're just spending a lot of time. I mean, I guess here, maybe. No, you don't see this guy. There's like 15 pixels of him on the screen. You should, yeah, once you pick up this rod, you should already be starting to build your first portal. Like, you should be really comfortable with leaving on, 5. Like, because, okay, listen, in like this situation, you don't have, you have blaze shoots on your shit, actually. But, so maybe you got it from that, because it does say off to your left. But I don't know if you did or not. But like, to me, I don't see any blazes. Maybe you like do a quick turnaround too. Don't see any blazes. 5 rods, just dip. Should be gone. Just build your blind portal and you're gone. Like, and you should have built your blind portal right here instead of building up a couple blocks and then building it over here. Just waste a few seconds. Make sure you have a hotbar where you know where your boat is. Like, me personally, I have a hotbar where my boat is in the top left of my inventory. So if I need it, my cursor just spawns on it. Like the same thing you do with corner fire charge. The thing I would, honestly, in your inventory, you can get rid of the shovel or the bucket. You don't, especially on a blind run, like where you don't have 10 obby, you don't really need a shovel or a bucket. Like, I guess shovel's nice for dig down, so you can just put that in your inventory. And, hell, I'd even say throw out the bucket. Like, I mean, it just, I don't see a situation where a bucket will benefit you in the run, because if you have the boat, you can boat clutch, or just drive the boat off, zero tower. I just don't see a situation really where you need a bucket. But you can also just keep it in your inventory. That's what I do in the splits. I don't have a bucket in my hotbar, which is any that isn't the Bastion or the Overworld. Just anything post Bastion, I don't have a bucket in my hotbar. And just knowing why your hotbar is laid out the way it is, and like the cons and the pros of like what you're doing. Like you're okay. Um, you could have, okay, so 737 to 739, that's 2 seconds ish of time loss because you were just in your inventory. Um, Bookcrafting Eyes is really slow. Pauseless Bodai. Another thing, like, I know you like the whole, like, 70s FOV aesthetic, but in the fort, especially, never go on low RD unless you're on Soul Sand. Like, maybe in a spawner, on a spawner, I would say, like, going down a bit in FOV is fine, like, to 90, 80, whatever, but, just where you're, like, not gonna your eyes aren't gonna hurt from seeing from like the Soul Sand FOV. But when you're playing 5RD or dynamic, you need all the visibility possible. Um, which this is just why a lot of runners just don't just play on Quake Pro all the time because you just always have more visibility. There's not really any downsides to it. Um, Besides on Soul Sand, which I lower my FOV to like 80, 85. Um, there's just so many more pros than cons to being on high FOV. Um, you just need a lot of visibility, especially on like SSV forts. Um, Especially this is a good example, like on ones like this, where it's very hectic, there's terrain everywhere, there's withers. You need to be able to look around the withers instead of like whatever. But yeah, retime with Spode Eye is a big thing. It's really easy to learn. You just F3C and then escape pause and use that escape pause as a um and use that escape pause as like a a settings change. And once again, here we have this. You can get rid of like 3 of these fire res, since or even more honestly. You can get rid of all of your fire res because you don't need it. Um, Especially in a 10 obby run. In a 20 obby run, I like to have like 2 extra fire res in my inventory once I enter the fort. Um, get rid of this. You can get rid of all of that. Um, there's just so much like shit in your inventory that you just do not need. Um, and you're spending a bit of time messing, or you're taking time, um, unneeded time rather, or unnecessary, whatever the word is, um, for no reason, when you could just have your inventory correct. Um, yeah, like I said earlier, just I can tell awareness is a big issue, and uh, like you could also be throwing pearls a bit earlier. Like me, I'm building off a block, or I'm placing a block under me here because I know I'm on a vine after like a few jumps, and then I'm just going on top of the tree and throwing a pearl. Um, like especially at this level, you need to be like a big thing. You need to be playing for like just speed. Like you're a good runner, definitely like sub 10 potential, but you need to be like playing for speed rather than safety on certain spots. Now in the fort and in the bastion, in the overworld, I would say, yeah, grab an extra hay bale, 3 extra bread, sure. But like just throwing pearls, you need to be pretty ballsy with those. Like in the bastion, use the ranked routes. besides like triple the gap, those kind of suck. But yeah, like, but just use the ranked routes. Play forts a bit safer, but like still play them where it's still fast. Um, like you're spending so much time in your inventory looking for a boat when you could have replaced it with the shovel and kept it in your hotbar, you know? Oh shit, S. Like more aggressive pearls, this is 30 seconds faster easily. Uh, learn the meaty tech. You're still highlighting blocks, but like, if you're not doing the meaty tech, don't highlight blocks. That will ruin your spike. If you are, do highlight blocks because like it's pretty easy to go for. Eat earlier. Like, once you have a good spike, eat. Learn hybrid setups for at the very least learn them for back. Um, they're way faster, or learn like faster setups for the setups you're doing. Like learn to build off like where you land. Wait, let me go back a little bit. Like you can build off of this right here over here, and you're just in the spot. Um, and you can do multi-block. Multi-block is really, really good because you're just hitting 5 beds every time, which 5 beds are pretty easy with um, normal setups, but especially multi-block, you can hit 5 beds, 4 beds easily. Um, yeah, just really big thing is just pay more attention to what's going on around you. Um, make sure you are, you know, what mobs are around you, you know, where the stuff is in your inventory. Um, make sure just you know everything. It sounds complicated, and it is, definitely. And but you're at the level where all of these micro, like 2 seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds, 1 second, all of those time saves really, really count. Um, yeah,